My son uninvited us from his wedding, so I threw him and his fiance's family out of our house. When my son went off to college in Pennsylvania, he loved it there so much that he didn't want to leave after graduation. So my wife and I decided to buy a 4-bedroom house nearby, kind of a second home. We live in New Jersey, commute to Manhattan for work, and figured, hey, it's close enough to visit. He could live there rent-free, just pay for his own groceries and utilities, and we'd handle everything else, taxes, maintenance, the works. For a few years, everything was fine. He was doing great, the house was in perfect shape, and it made us happy knowing he was settled. Then he met a girl. Sweet enough at first, polite, smiled a lot, seemed like the type who had it all together. They started dating seriously, and a year later, he called to tell us they were engaged. We were thrilled. We offered to host a little backyard barbecue at the Pennsylvania house, kind of a get-to-know-you thing between families. My wife cooked all day, my daughter came along, and we set up the grill. The fiancé's parents and sisters showed up dressed like they were going to some country club luncheon. But fine, whatever. I figured it's just how they are. For the first hour, everything seemed normal. Laughs, small talk, wine, the usual. Then my wife, daughter, my son, his fiancé, her mom, and her sisters all went inside together. 10 minutes later, my wife comes out pale as a ghost. My daughter's eyes are red. My wife just says, "We're leaving. Now." I tried asking what happened, but she wouldn't say a word until we got home. And when we did, she broke down. Turns out, while they were inside, my son's fiancé, with her whole family nodding along, told my wife and daughter that they're not really invited to the wedding anymore because, quote, "You're not our kind of people." I remember just standing there frozen, trying to process that sentence. Not our kind of people. We raised that boy, paid for his college, gave him a house, and now we're not their kind? I called my son immediately. My voice was shaking. I was that angry. I said, "What the hell is this? You uninviting your own family?" And you know what he said? He said, "Dad, her parents think it's best. They don't want things to feel awkward." I hung up before I said something I couldn't take back. A week passed. I tried to calm down, tell myself maybe it was a misunderstanding, but it just kept burning inside me. The disrespect, the humiliation my wife felt, the audacity of that girl's family. So one Saturday morning, I got in the car, drove the 2 hours back to the Pennsylvania house, and when I pulled up, I couldn't believe what I saw. Her family's cars were in the driveway. All of them. I walk inside, and there they are. Her parents, her sisters, her, all sitting around my living room like they owned the place. Her mom actually looked me dead in the eye and said, "Oh, you didn't call before coming over." I said, "I don't need to call before coming into my own house." She laughed, actually laughed, and said, "Your house? You mean their house? They live here now." Something in me snapped. I looked around at these people who had decided my wife and daughter were beneath them, who had moved into a house I paid for, and I said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "You have 30 days to get out." The room went dead silent. My son wasn't home. He was at work, but I didn't care. I said, "Tell my son I'm selling the house. You can all find somewhere else to live." Then I walked out, got in my car, and drove straight to a realtor's office. Listed the property that day.